Today we're looking into Africa's amazing growth prospects. Of the world's top 20 fastest growing economies for 2024, 9 are African. Can you believe Niger is set to be the third fastest growing economy globally? And here's another twist. Nigeria is no longer Africa's largest economy. Stay with us as we reveal the secrets, challenges and triumphs of these incredible African nations. Niger, the largest country in West Africa, is a land of stark contrasts. Despite being mostly covered by the vast Sahara Desert, Niger holds a unique position on the global stage. It is the world's 7th biggest producer of uranium, a critical element for nuclear energy and cancer treatment. Yet, paradoxically, it remains one of the world's poorest countries, relying on nearly $2 billion annually in development assistance. The political landscape shifted dramatically after a coup d'état in July 2023, which led to severe economic sanctions and Niger's exit from the Economic Community of West African States. The sanctions included freezing state assets in the regional central bank and halting financial assistance from regional development banks. Major contributors like the European Union and the World Bank also suspended their financial support and cooperation on security. Despite this political turmoil, Niger's economic outlook for 2024 is surprisingly bright. The streets of Niamey may not show no signs yet, but the country is poised for significant growth. With projected growth of 10.6%, Niger could experience the highest growth rate on the continent this year. This optimism is fueled by oil exports and the anticipated lifting of sanctions. Niger's oil industry holds tremendous potential. Significant oil deposits and the completion of a 2,000-kilometer pipeline between Niger and Benin are expected to make the oil industry a cornerstone of the economy, generating a quarter of the country's GDP. However, this positive outlook is not without risks, particularly concerning security issues. Stability remains a crucial factor for sustaining this growth. Next is Senegal, the westernmost gem of Africa. Settled among its neighbors, Senegal enjoys a dry tropical climate and is home to 16.7 million people. Known for its political stability, Senegal continues to shine as one of the most steadfast nations on the continent. In 2024, Senegal elected its 5th president, Bassirou Diomaye Faye. Despite some recent political unrest, the situation has been resolved, and the nation looks forward to a promising future. Senegal is on track to become the 2nd fastest growing economy in Africa, thanks in large part to its burgeoning hydrocarbons industry. Between 2014 and 2017, Senegal discovered more than 40 trillion cubic feet of natural gas, an enormous boost to its economic prospects. This natural gas windfall is set to propel the economy forward, with growth projected to accelerate to a remarkable 8.3%. Libya, a nation rich in resources but currently caught in a political stalemate. Competing centers of power claim legitimacy over the country, and despite ongoing negotiations, an agreement on a constitutional framework for elections remains elusive. This contested legitimacy contributes to insecurity, social fragmentation, and economic loss. Strategically located as the gateway between Europe, Africa, and the Middle East, a stable and secure Libya would not only enhance its economic outlook, but also have positive spillovers for the entire continent. Libya boasts some of the world's largest proven oil and natural gas reserves, with the majority exported to Europe. However, prolonged conflict has significantly hampered oil production, making stability crucial for Libya to achieve its goal of doubling oil production by 2025. Regionally, a stable Libya is vital. It absorbs economic migrants from neighboring countries like Tunisia, Egypt, and sub-Saharan Africa, boosting the flow of remittances to their countries of origin. Moreover, a peaceful Libya could reduce arms and human trafficking, potentially leading to more stability in the Sahel region and improved economic performance across the area. Despite these numerous challenges, the Libyan economy shows promise. Buoyed by the recovering oil sector and high oil prices, Libya is poised for a growth rate of 7.8%. Rwanda is a hilly and fertile land. With a population of about 13 million, Rwanda is nestled among its larger neighbors, the Democratic Republic of Congo, as well as Tanzania, Uganda, and Burundi. Since the tragic events of the 1994 genocide, Rwanda has prioritized political stability. Mark your calendars for July 15, 2024, when elections for the president and parliamentary seats will take place. President Paul Kagame, the ruling party's presidential flag-bearer, is set for a potential fourth consecutive 7-year term. Rwanda has set ambitious goals for itself, aspiring to achieve middle-income country status by 2035 and high-income country status by 2050. Despite facing challenging external and domestic factors, Rwanda's economy has remained resilient and adaptable. With projected average growth of 7.2% from 2024, the services sector and the rebound of the industrial sector are key contributors to this positive economic trajectory. A small country with a big strategic advantage, Djibouti. With a population of about 1 million, Djibouti may be one of the smallest nations in Africa, but it holds a key position at the southern entrance to the Red Sea. This makes it a crucial bridge between Africa and the Middle East. Djibouti's economy is heavily influenced by its prime location adjacent to some of the world's busiest shipping lanes. Hosting military bases for countries like China, France, Italy, Japan, and the United States underscores its geopolitical importance. The backbone of Djibouti's economy is its state-of-the-art port complex, renowned for its sophistication. Yet the country faces challenges due to the small size of its economy, which limits its ability to diversify, increasing its reliance on foreign markets, which can make it vulnerable to market downturns. With very little arable land, Djibouti depends on imports to meet its food needs. Despite these vulnerabilities, Djibouti's economic outlook remains bright. GDP growth rate is projected to stay strong at 6.5%. The recent peace agreement with Ethiopia in 2023 promises to boost trade and growth. Djibouti is also looking to the future with ambitious infrastructure programs under the National Development Plan. The country's existing infrastructure of undersea telecommunications cables could be the foundation for new digital and service industries. Plus, with its geothermal, solar, and wind potential, renewable energy could become a significant growth driver. Ethiopia, a land of incredible growth and rich history. With about 127 million people, Ethiopia stands as the second most populous nation in Africa, right after Nigeria. But it's not just the numbers that impress. Ethiopia is also one of the fastest growing economies in the region, boasting an impressive growth rate of 6.2% and aiming to reach lower middle income status by 2025. This remarkable growth is part of a long-term trend. Over the past 15 years, Ethiopia's economy has grown at an average rate of nearly 10% per year, one of the highest rates globally. Public infrastructure projects and significant investments in agriculture and industry have been key drivers of this economic boom. This consistent high growth has translated into substantial poverty reduction across the country. However, the journey hasn't been without its challenges. Conflicts in various parts of the country have threatened to undermine the economic and social progress made. Yet, Ethiopia remains resilient. The government has unveiled an ambitious 10-year development plan. This plan aims to sustain the impressive growth of the past decade while steering the economy towards a more private sector-driven model. By fostering efficiency, introducing competition in key sectors like energy, logistics, and telecom, and improving the overall business climate, Ethiopia is paving the way for a brighter future. Now let's move to the vibrant crossroads of West Africa, Benin. Located at the intersection of two bustling regional corridors, the Abidjan-Lagos and Cotonou-Niamey corridors, Benin is not just a place on the map, it's a thriving commerce and tourism hub. With a 121-kilometer-long coastline along the Gulf of Guinea, Benin is bordered by its dynamic neighbors, Nigeria, Burkina Faso, Niger, and Togo. Let's talk cotton. Cotton is a major driver in Benin's economy, contributing a whopping 40% to the GDP and making up 80% of exports. That's right, cotton is king here. Of course, like any kingdom, there are challenges. Fluctuations in global cotton prices and the impacts of climate change can cast shadows on this sunny picture. Add to that the unfavorable economic ripples from Nigeria, such as rising petrol prices, strong inflationary pressures, and the Naira's ups and downs. and you get a sense of the hurdles existing. Coupled with the worsening security situation in Benin's northern areas, a huge compromise on the economic outlook is expected. And yet, there's a silver lining. Benin's strategic location, rich cultural heritage, and the government's strong push for fiscal reforms pave the way for incredible opportunities for more inclusive and sustainable growth in the country. Let's move to one of Africa's smallest countries, the Gambia. Stretching 450 kilometers along the Gambia River, this nation is almost entirely surrounded by Senegal, with the exception of a 60-kilometer Atlantic Ocean front. Despite its small size, the Gambia is bustling with life. With a population of about 2.5 million people, it ranks as one of the most densely populated countries in Africa. That's 176 people per square kilometer, most of whom live in the vibrant urban and peri-urban centers. Talking numbers, the Gambia's GDP growth is on a promising path, projected to average a robust 5.6%. This growth is driven by strategic public investments, strong remittances from abroad, and a rebounding tourism sector that supports both private consumption and investment. Finally, the surprising twist in Africa's economic landscape. Nigeria has dropped from being Africa's largest economy to fourth position, trailing behind South Africa, Egypt, and Algeria. According to the IMF's World Economic Outlook, Nigeria's GDP is estimated at $253 billion this year. Meanwhile, Algeria sits at $267 billion, Egypt at $348 billion, and South Africa leads with $373 billion. What's behind this shift? Currency depreciations, reduced export earnings, and inflation have hit Nigeria hard. While Nigeria's Naira has seen significant losses against the dollar, South Africa's rand has only dipped marginally.